poke from Ruler can be devastating. T1 can't spend too long trading blows in the mid lane against this Varus.
To me, it comes down to like a game of chess but played between Ruler and Faker.
JDG don't have to be too scared, but they might be pitching for the angle. Arrow going onto the jungler. Flick back is there. Looking to burst Donor. Looking to taste him out of the equation.
In that moment, I could feel Faker's gonna try something. Well, no matter what, it's gonna be a huge moment.
And Zeus, the blast cone, not enough. Back into the midst of the team, and he will get taken down. Ruler now on a rampage.
I just bring it down to magic. I'm just like, he's the GOAT. Obviously, he decided that he was gonna do it this way, and it worked.
For the next 2 minutes and 20 seconds, it is JDG who are favored. And again, eyes on Ruler. Kuma forced to flash.
내가 넘겨줄게.
TP coming in. Faker looking to make the play.
Holy shit! He refuses to lose.
That's it! They can end! They can end the game! It's over!
That's for 2017!
Absolutely nothing! T1 in the clutch! R2 damn clean!
Okay, so before we get into today's video, if you enjoy it, please like it, sub to the channel, and ring that notification bell. And while you're at it, have a look at our merch over at shop.thescore.com. All right, so at Worlds 2023, it took Faker approximately 4 seconds to obliterate 6 years of unresolved history. But to understand those 4 seconds, we first have to understand the history. Any and every League of Legends fan either remembers or has heard of the SKT era. Between 2013 and 2016, SK Telecom T1 hoisted 3 of the 4 Worlds trophies. They were, in a word, indomitable. And the face of that indomitability was Faker.
가장 위대한 리그 오브 레전드 프로 선수이자 살아있는 전설입니다.
But then, at Worlds 2017, the unthinkable happened.
All hail the new kings! Samsung Galaxy, your 2017 World Champions!
The SKT era didn't just crumble, it crashed. And while there were countless outplays that spelled SKT's demise, only one was seared into Faker's memory.
They push mid first. You can see the flash ult left. They've caught Faker. They've got a CC. The mid laner is down. The unkillable Demon King has done his life.
Over the next 5 years, the Demon King did everything he could to reclaim his crown. And during those 5 years, he fell short. In some cases, painfully so.
아무리 페이커라고 하더라도 무조건 이기는 게 아니구나라는 생각이 드는 그런 결과도 많이 나왔었거든요.
Worlds 22 was supposed to be Faker's for the taking. T1 made it all the way to the finals, where the only thing standing between Faker and his crown was the last challenger anyone could have expected. On paper, Faker had a date with destiny. In reality, someone else did.
They have been doubted. They have been discounted. They have been dismissed. But DRX are your 2022 World Champions.
Going into Worlds 2023, all eyes were on T1 to see if they could finally exercise their demons. This new roster of sparkling young guns, led by Faker, had shown that they had what it took to be the best in the world.
Trying to come forward here, Summit just by himself, finds himself, and Q the Magnus Storm under 3 is gigantic, and Summit's going all out. He's gonna get out of the fight as well with Gumayushi. He's taken down Yun already. And Core JJ, both of them are gonna go golden, and it's T1 that just roll over the top, but it's the Nexus that needs to be addressed, and T1 are gonna take the first game of Swiss.
Unfortunately, the assumption was that they weren't long for this world. Faker's supporting cast had blossomed into superstars in their own right, and because of that, it seemed all but certain that when their contracts concluded after Worlds, they would fetch higher price tags somewhere else. T1 had one last chance to win together, and in typical T1 fashion, they didn't emerge from the Swiss stage unscathed. Entering the bracket with a 3-1 record, T1 managed to dominate without putting a target on their chest, to show that they were exceptional, but not untouchable. Because, well, they weren't. But someone else was.
I can feel the groan of all the LPL commentators like, not again, it always happens just this way. But JDG, the favorites for the tournament, will also be the first ones welcomed to the knockout stage of Worlds.
An LPL tournament favorite that does not disappoint.
Unlike T1, the LPL Super Squad, JDG, committed 0 missteps. Not only did they dominate their way to the quarterfinals, but JDG spent the year amassing every title under the sun, 2 domestic and 1 international. If they won Worlds, JDG would be the first roster to traverse the so-called Golden Road.
It started with the roster changes. You bring in Knight, you bring in Ruler, 2 of the best players in the entire world. And with the meta staying stable and staying towards 5v5 through spring, through summer, through MSI, and now into Worlds, they're looking really good.
Closer than ever, but actually at the same point that many teams have been before, but it is such a difficult thing to do.
When you're that #1 team, everyone is creating their plan to take you down. Everyone knows JDG is going to be a massive threat at Worlds and have been spending weeks and months preparing for the moment where they might play them.
What's more, JDG were led by Ruler, the superstar ADC whose fateful flash had sealed Faker's fate back in 2017. After each roster stomped their way through their respective quarterfinals, it became clear that the tournament's eventual victor would likely be determined by the outcome of this semi-final. China versus Korea. Proven perfection versus untapped potential. Faker versus the very player who'd ended his reign years earlier.
그때도 약간 SKT라는 팀 자체가 몇 단계 더 위에 있다라고 많이 느꼈었는데 페이커 선수는 높은 곳에 올라가려면 늘 마주해야 하는 벽 같은 존재였었어요. 그때 페이커 선수를 꺾고 트로피를 들었을 때는 세상에 있는 거 다 가진 기분? 내가 주인공이 됐다라는 생각을 많이 가졌었어요.
Yo, turn it off, man. I'm in a scrim.
Seb, what are you doing in here?
I told you, dude, I'm on the grind.
Damn, dude, you're actually practicing like that?
I mean, I have no choice. I mean, look at this thing. I need the fan to keep my laptop cool. The screen only works well in dark spaces.
Yeah, I'm not sure about all that. But listen, you don't have to keep doing this to yourself. With the Predator Helios Neo 16 gaming laptop, you don't have to set up the perfect space. You can game anywhere. A brilliant 16-inch G-Sync compatible panel with 165Hz refresh rate means you won't have trouble making out any of the action. And thanks to graphics powered by NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4060, it'll look better than ever. Enjoy a quantum leap in performance with DLSS 3 and lifelike virtual worlds with full ray tracing. DLSS is a revolutionary breakthrough in AI-powered graphics that massively boost performance. Powered by the new 4th gen Tensor cores, an optical flow accelerator on GeForce RTX 40 series laptop GPUs, DLSS 3 uses AI to create additional high-quality frames. Custom-engineered 5th gen Aeroblade 3D fan technology provides greater airflow to keep the system running cool, even when it's working hard. You can even personalize your RGB with Predator Sense 5.0.
Wow, you're right. This is beyond fast, though I will miss being able to fry eggs on my keyboard.
Right now, during Intel Gamer Days, the Predator Helios Neo 16 is on sale for over $300 off, only at Best Buy. So go check it out.
Now, on paper, it seemed as if history would repeat itself. This was JDG's series to win. The meta favored Ruler's newly aggressive playstyle, and the gap between him and other ADCs was gargantuan. Only one thing stood in his way.
저희가 갈 길은 이미 정해져 있습니다. 룰러 선수 잊지 말아야 할 겁니다. 모든 길은 결국 저를 통합니다.
If T1 were to topple the LPL Giants, they would need to fire on all cylinders. And in Game 1, they did just that.
Getting damage coming in for the Dark and Blade. Missing on the backside, trying to find some space. With a shockwave, it's clean! And in comes the curtain call! And Isaias wreaking havoc on all of JDG! Missing and Kanavi should not be enough. The Nexus, lower and lower T1, drawing first blood in this series.
But in Game 2, JDG bounced back hard.
That's 369 to the backside, looking to isolate the rest of the team. One kill already going down. Guma off the ribs, Carrier running for his life. Kanavi continuing to step forward, pullback coming in. JDG have brought T1 into the meat grinder, and they are tearing through them effortlessly. Can he get more damage down? 369 in the midst of everybody, and he's going all out into the back line. Only the support left. standing. It's a clean ace in the base of T1 as JDG will move on and close out game 2.
It's a textbook game from JDG.
Going into Game 3, T1 looked a little rattled. This was a roster with a history, albeit recent, of coming up short in the clutch. All things considered, the vast majority of T1 was still young and inexperienced, and once Game 3 was underway, it felt as if the nerves might be getting to them.
Zayas looking to fire back. JDG could be in trouble, missing out, firing forward. He's got level 6, but does he have the mana? The Herald does drop in the end. Knight still standing. The flick back is clean. Limit missing. He gets the kill. He gets the red buff carrier now running for his life. Flash out from Knight to safety. Still standing, ticking down, backing. Hostile takeover will not connect. Handshake will not connect. It's an absolute mess of a fight on the top side.
Anytime someone stumbled, Faker was there to help stabilize them.
Might go for the 50-50, but it's absolutely psycho. Flashes over the arrow. Faker goes in. It's incredibly clean. JDG with the counterpunch. Can they get anything back? Ruler untouched on the backside. Dragon still standing, but Owner will take that away too. My God, what an engage from T1.
But as soon as it looked as if T1 might run away with it, mistakes were made.
Look for the slice. Trying to double dash through one. Not able to get the second. The Q3, the Darkened Blade cutting down. But now Ruler, maybe he can get more in the fight. Ruler now running down Zayas. Owner now running. Ruler trying to make up for the previous mistake. JDG looking to take the fight. Owner overstaying. Over commitment. Faker hit by the arrow. The fight doesn't stop. T1 hold on to the Baron. But JDG fire back.
Slowly but surely, T1 were faltering.
They can take him down. Zayas spotted 369 early ultimate to get the Fury up. Knight going over the wall. The flip back flashed away, but Zayas is certainly dead. The rest of T1 now trying to move into the jungle to compensate, but missing, zoning them off as best he can. Zayas, the blast cone, not enough. Back into the midst of the team, and he will get taken down. Ruler now on a rampage.
Before long, JDG found themselves barreling down mid with a Baron buff and the taste of blood fresh on their palate. The series stood on a razor's edge, and it quickly became apparent that T1's fledgling superstars didn't know how to tip it in their favor. But Faker did.
I knew the story, the history behind Ruler flashing and catching Faker on Carmel, on his Varus, and winning the series and making Faker cry. And I knew all of that. But in that moment, I could feel Faker's going to try something. Before he win that, he's either going to win or he's going to fail. Well, no matter what, it's going to be a huge moment.
To me, it comes down to like a game of chess but played between Ruler and Faker. Faker is on a ward the whole time. So Ruler knows where all of the pieces are on the board, knows what he can do. He has flash up, so obviously he's not catchable. The angle of that Emperor's Divide will get me forever.
It is very tough not to have the cleanse.
Stays on the flank. Stays on the side. TP coming in. Faker looking to make the play against Ruler. Owner goes in. And again, the combos are clean. The hostile takeover is damn well hostile. T1 looking to leave no survivors alive. 369 admits the entire team will get absolutely nothing. T1 in the clutch are too damn clean.
Now, like all legendary plays, the stakes of this outplay were set long before the initiation itself. Let's break it down. If we back up to about the 27-minute mark, we can see that at this point, the match sat very narrowly in T1's favor. The gold was dead even, Dragon was up in a minute, it was soul point for T1, and they could still fight for Baron because they had a vision advantage. But they were on a timer.
The poke from Ruler can be devastating. T1 can't spend too long trading blows in the mid lane against this Varus, or too long setting up and taking objectives. Topside control, topside vision control in favor of T1. A bit of vision in the pit.
And then this happened.
JDG don't have to be too scared, but they might be pitching for the angle. Arrow going onto the jungler. Flick back is there. Looking to burst Owner. Looking to taste him out of the equation. The pullback is there for Guma. He will keep carry alive. Fate's call. But it's the fate of T1 to lose this Baron.
Now, Owner getting picked on the back of the Ash Arrow means that T1 would have to contest Baron without their jungler. That said, they could still try to delay the fight. Now, Zeus had the good sense to beeline his way into the tri-bush above Baron, hoping to play around Fog of War. Little did he know, he'd situated himself directly on top of a ward, at which point JDG realized this is a free Aatrox. Worse yet, Zeus had burned Flash, and both of these kills went the way of Ruler, whose Varus was becoming a serious issue for T1. Now, it wasn't all bad for T1. Realizing that they had no hope of contesting Baron, T1 opted to trade it for Dragon Soul. Unfortunately, it was Cloud, which didn't synergize with T1's draft particularly well, and while it would have been a win for T1 in the long run, for the time being, JDG had a big advantage.
JDG have had some of the most devastating Baron power plays of any team at the tournament. Let's see what they can get done with it, because they did pay a decent price here in the form of a permanent Dragon Soul to the side of T1.
Over the course of the event, not only had JDG proven that they were exceptional at using Baron buff to close out matches, but in this particular match, the buff was a huge boon to their draft.
But for the next 2 minutes and 20 seconds, it is JDG who are favored. Not quite enough members in the mid lane to bully this tower down, but the empowered cannon minions will be more than enough.
JDG knew that if they acted right away, they could bring the map to a close.
And again, eyes on Ruler! Kuma forced to flash! Clean arrows from missing this game.
Within minutes, JDG had completely turned the tide, which meant that T1 would have to turn it back. It just wasn't clear how.
The tier 2 tower in the sights of JDG, they should be able to get this easily. A similar story for 369 on the bottom side. T1 just need to weather the storm.
And then Faker saw something that no one else could. You see, right now, all of JDG's attention is focused away from Faker. Owner is desperately tanking damage middle so his team can tear down the empowered wave, and unbeknownst to Faker, he's standing under a ward, which is allowing the Ashe to harass him out of the fight. Right now, it really seems as if JDG don't need to worry about the Azir, which is why when Zeus flanks from Wolves in a feeble attempt to direct JDG's attention elsewhere, all three members of JDG turn. In that split second, it seemed like T1 only had one feasible line of attack, and that is when Faker struck. With Zeus on the run, three of his opponents distracted, the Renekton TPing onto the damaged cannon minion, his other three teammates cut off from him on account of the wave, and the enemy Ashe staring directly at him, keeping him at bay. Faker went in and did something incredible. He saw into the future.
Here's the side. TP coming in, Faker looking to make the play, he gets Ruler! Owner goes in!
In that micro situation where you've got Faker already calling to his teammates like, I've got him. Is that because he's done the checkmate already in his head? Like, has he seen this?
네, 딱 각이 보였습니다. 그래서 앞으로 나아갔습니다.
I don't know, man. I just bring it down to magic. I'm just like, he's the GOAT. Like, obviously he decided that he was going to do it this way, and it worked.
When Ruler flashed and got hit still, I actually jumped out of my chair and started screaming at the TV. And scared the hell out of my wife. I was like, I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that.
Not only did Faker spot the opening, realize that Ashe wouldn't be able to stop him, and hit an immaculate initiation over a wall, but he knew that Ruler would have no choice but to flash. So Faker flashed first.
Because Ruler had flash, he felt pretty safe. Like, he felt like, okay, we have enough control here. I know where he is. He can't do it. It was almost one of those like Obi-Wan Kenobi, like, I have the high ground, don't try it, you know, moments from Revenge of the Sith. Like, it almost felt like Ruler was just like, you can't get me. There's no way.
That's what Faker's legacy has become. He used to be the king of mechanics, and now he's just the king of controlling everything and like creating these sort of like game-changing moments.
From that point on, T1 were locked in. Off the back of that initiation, T1 wiped JDG, ran down the mid lane, and took the Nexus.
It's a realization, I think, for Faker that there's only one outcome if he doesn't make this play, which is they lose the game. This is one of those plays that is really not a hands moment so much as it is just a brain smart play moment where he can see the game almost like it's in ones and zeros. This was the moment I thought, if they can do this, they can do anything.
Taking those risks and understanding that you could fall flat on your face is so important. Like, as soon as your pride is fragile enough where if you make a play and fail, you're gonna feel bad, that's when you should quit. Because if you're too scared to fail, you'll never make those plays. And Faker, like, I think his ego, his pride is just bulletproof. He does not care. Like, he will make a play. If he fails, he'll go and make it again.
T1 took Game 4, obliterated Weibo in the finals, and Faker secured not only his 4th Worlds trophy, but his teammates' first.
It was 7 years since their last, a yes, the SKT legacy has been reignited. T1 will be your 2023 World Champions.
And while it might sound a little hyperbolic to say that Faker's fateful flash single-handedly won T1 Worlds, it did help them overcome a significant obstacle.
Over the last 4 or 5 years, his playstyle has really evolved into being macro-oriented, intelligent plays, supporting his teammates and just winning the map and getting the most gold out of the map. It almost feels like he went from being a frontline warrior to being a general who is actually controlling where the pieces move, the chess pieces, where they're going. And he went from being best hands in the game to best mind in the game.
Faker's teammates were widely considered to be world-class in their respective positions, but they were also young, eager to win, but susceptible to pressure when it mattered most. So when that pressure to perform crept in and nearly toppled T1, it was the veteran, Faker, who came through and shut it out.
그렇다면 페이커 선수, 함께 고생한 우리 팀원들에게 한마디 해줄까요?
다들 너무 고생 많았고 이제 네 너무 고맙다. 네.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring that notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit up our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages.